There we go. We're live. Brad, you wanted to know about my cruise.
Yeah. This is not your first Is it
No.
Disney cruise?
Yes.
Okay, this is not
We
your first Disney cruise. How did it
we've
go?
become Disney cruise snobs.
Oh.
Yeah, which
A princess, maybe?
yeah. Well, okay, so this cruise, they had a Marvel Day at Sea. It
Oh,
was
Pretty cool, yeah.
incredible. Like,
whoa.
I
Sounds
don't wanna,
dangerous.
I don't wanna spoil things for people, but, like, you wake up and they have redecorated the boat with, like, Marvel stuff, Marvel banners, like, it just I say it transformed. I mean, it looks like, "Oh, yeah, this would be easy to set up because it's, like, wrappers around pillars and banners and things like that," but there is something magical when you wake up and the boat's different. And then they had Marvel characters everywhere, everybody's dressed up.
Were the
Um
bad guys there?
Yes. So, my
Oh.
son dressed up as Loki, and
Uh-huh.
we do, like, simple costumes, so we had, like, a Loki sweatshirt and then, like, a headpiece,
Okay.
and so we went and talked to Loki, the character, and they're just so good, like, in
Mm.
character because he was like, "Come, follow me. They can't find us if we keep moving." Or, like, it makes it harder for them to find us if we keep moving. So he, like, led my son, like, around this little area, and they go over off to the side, and he asks him, he's like, "Are you the oldest?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Good. So you sit on the throne. You're the chosen."
Oh my gosh, that sounds
And
like a
then
dream.
and then he was like, "Does your sister like, is she trying to steal it from you?" And she's like, "Yes, that's a problem." It just, like, totally in character. It was so good. So, and then Disney is the only cruise line that does fireworks at sea, and, usually, they do, like, a pirate night that they incorporate the fireworks with, but since they did the Marvel Day at sea, we didn't have the pirate day, which I think was good. We've done the pirate thing at every single time, but they incorporated the fireworks as part of this, like, Marvel show, and so, like, there's, like, drones off the boat that they've gotta go shoot off, so, like, they're shooting at the drones, and it's all the fireworks going off and explosions, and
Whoa.
it's really cool. Yeah.
Wow. That makes my
That is
life
awesome. Leave it to Disney to do something like that,
Yeah.
like, they always know how to go above and beyond.
It's so
Is
good.
it is it like every other cruise that kind of, like, once you go once, I feel like you're in this, like, VIP mailing list where they're like,
Oh, yeah.
"Go again for, like, 50% off," like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
price just keeps dropping?
It doesn't, like, keep dropping, but, so, like, after you go once, you're part of the Castaway Club or something like that, and
Mhm.
so you get prizes. Sorry about the messages, people. You get prizes every time you go on the boat, like, you're part of the club, and there's nothing you have to do to be a part of the club, and then, you also get, if you sign up for your next cruise before you leave the boat, it's, like, 10% off or something, but they get you because, like thing about that too is it's totally refundable. You have 2 years to sign up. I can call anytime in the 2 years and they'll give me my money back. So it's like, why not put that money down? But it's like, I think just money off maybe the deposit or something like that. So that was one thing that we've done is we've just always put a deposit down for the next cruise before we get off the boat. And then it's like, "Oh, we have a cruise. We could we've said we're gonna do this. Like, what why not?"
Where'd you go, or does that not even matter? I mean, if there's superheroes on the boat, I don't even know if it matters.
Well, this one was a little bit different. This was the first time that we've gone out of Galveston. Usually we're going out of Miami or we fly into Orlando and whatever port's right there. So that was a little bit different. And every time we've gone to their private island, which is Castaway Cay, this one did not go to Castaway Cay, which we absolutely love. We went to Progreso, Mexico, and that was another thing that made this one really fun was we did an excursion we've never done before. So we went swimming in caves. So they
Oh.
off like an hour and a half away from the ship. We rode in a bus, and then we got to this property, and it doesn't look like anything's fancy there, but you as a group, like, we all walked up, and there's a hole in the ground. They have it, like, fenced off, and then you just walk down steps, like 50 steps spiraling down. It's not too, like, crazy or scary. We walk 50 steps down, and then you're in the middle of this giant cave with a 35 feet pool in it, and so we're just, like, swimming around in these caves, and then we, came out and we walked it's still on the same property, like, 5 minutes sounds long. It was like right there. You just walk a little bit further over, and there's another cave that the roof has fallen in. And it's not like rubble, it's very like lush and green and all this stuff. But you walk down these steps, and there's another like basically a cave that's all open air, and we can swim around in there. There's a waterfall. Yeah, very, very cool. So
Marvel
we had a
wishing
great
they
time.
had Aquaman on the team, but they
I
don't.
know, right?
That's DC.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, and they do a good job too with like the excursions. So they partner with local groups, but then they also vet everything just to make sure that it's safe. Like the one that we were underground swimming around in, there was a tunnel, and one of the other kids was like, "Can we go down there?" And they were like, "Well, we do have to, it is safe. We do have tours that will go down there. That's fine." But they were actually like, Disney has to come by and approve for you to do that. So you guys can't. But like that just made me feel better of like they're trying to make sure we're safe. I know Disney's not going to risk their reputation. Like that's a PR nightmare if something bad happens.
Right.
So there's also just like this element of safety when
Right.
you're in a place that you're like, you're not familiar with. So
Yeah. And Ursula's there. and
yes.
I'm just trying. I'm all the water jokes there.
Yeah, we did see Ariel because they do line up the princesses and all that. But like the shows are like Broadway level production shows every night.
Nice.
Just it's so good. The kids love it. I've told Brad my kids actually like it better than the parks. So yeah, we have a great time.
Nice. That's probably about the same price too.
Yeah,
I would hope it's cheaper than the parks. Holy cow!
Yeah, well, and the thing though about the boat is it's all inclusive, so it's like you can go and you're like,
Yeah, that's true. Right.
eat as much,
Yeah,
eat as much
yeah.
food as you want. My kids are like, I want to try lobster, or my son gets steak every night. It's like order whatever you want.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's see, how are we on time? We can go ahead and start. Sorry, I kind of monopolized the icebreaker. Let's see. Let me tweet about this real quick. I guess you still say tweet.
Never stop saying tweet, please.
It's not. I don't see it. It says we're live, but I don't see the thing. Oh, there it is. Okay. Cool. Craig, we're slowly becoming like the the Cloudflare podcast. Have all the Cloudflare people. We're both at Cloudflare now.
Change the color there, that yellow color to orange.
Yeah.
Start
perfect.
like slowly move the
Oh, thank you. I'll get in just a second.
Yeah. Speaking of, we do need to get Cloudflare to do something for the podcast.
Would you like a sponsor?
Yes.
I know the people. I know the
Exactly.
people to talk to.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think we're good. Where's the song? Yeah, so actually, Craig, this song James recorded.
Oh, no way. Awesome.
So he can rap. Okay, I am good to go. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Compressed FM, a podcast all about web design and development with a little bit of zest. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about Cloudflare, AI, and all the exciting things.
Web development and design, who would have guessed? Well, we can do them both, even add a little zest. So turn up the volume, get ready for the best. Let's get it started in this episode of Compress.
Well, that's great. What's his rap name? Does he have a rap name?
Oh, we need to give him one.
Is this Q? I just call it Q. I think that's a good probably.
That is
Yeah.
a good one.
That is good.
Hello, my name is Amy Dutton, and I am a design engineer at Cloudflare.
Hey, y'all. My name is Brad Garapi, and I'm a senior front-end developer at Cloudflare.
Wait a second. My name is Craig Dennis, and I am a developer educator at Cloudflare. We're all
What a
Cloudflareans.
coincidence. Oh, what a coincidence. Oh man, so I'm excited about today's episode. One, because I love Cloudflare, not just because they give me a paycheck, but I just really love their services. Fell in love with Cloudflare before I even started. So excited to talk about that. And then also just talking about AI. And I feel like that's become a reoccurring theme on the show. But today has an interesting kind of flavor or spin because Craig does work with developer experience, developer success, and like educating developers. How does AI affect that particular field? And I feel like there's a big question now of even like, do we need to learn how to code? What's the value of that? So it should be a good show. So where do we want to start?
I think I want to start with like Craig, talk about you and your team and kind of where people can find you guys, because I know Cloudflare just puts out a lot of content. I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah. So we are I'm on the dev go-to-market team, and I am on the specifically in the developer relations team. So our job there is to inspire folks with the kind of the art of the possible is kind of where that's what we're hitting at this year. So we're going to try to just build apps that are like the we already said AI, but like the future of like where these things are going, right? Like and what's possible. So Cloudflare's got this awesome network, and because of that, we have the ability to build some things that you might not be able to build elsewhere, and pretty quickly, right? We have all these primitives that you're able to kind of grab and stitch together. So we're trying to show those off. So we're at Cloudflare developers on the Twitters. I'm still gonna say Twitter, and then on YouTube we are at Cloudflare developers as well. So the YouTube channel there. We have a LinkedIn page. We just started a Cloudflare developers LinkedIn page. I don't know if this happens everywhere. Actually, I'm interested in this. In San Francisco, one of the first things you're like, oh, we meet each other. Oh, can we connect? And they give you a LinkedIn QR code, and it's like replace business cards. Does that happen? Were y'all?
I always found it weird because I would like go to developer meetups, and when I would meet other devs, I would just kind of assume that they would be on Twitter.
Yeah.
But anytime somebody would present me with like a LinkedIn link before like a Twitter link, I'd be like, that seems weird to me.
Yeah.
But I guess it is more professional, but at the same time, like, oh, if we just want to talk, like, I feel like
Yeah.
Twitter's the place.
Yeah, I feel so clumsy. I go to conferences and that seems to be the primary thing is like the LinkedIn. And
Yeah.
I always feel so clumsy where I'm like, oh, ooh, where do I go?
Yeah. And it's also like sometimes people will use that and then be like, hey, here's my resume. And it's like, I don't know how to help you. I can help guide you to the careers page. And by the way, if you are looking, we all work here. We all found the careers page. So if you are looking for the careers page, it's /careers. But if you message me on LinkedIn after we QR join each other's lives, I'm going to sell you the same thing. Go to /careers. And then we're always hiring, like tons of hiring.
And juniors too. So the big push this year is to get 1,111 interns. So even if you're new to the industry, definitely check that out as well.
And I love one of my favorite puns that we've ever pushed out is that we say interns ship. So it's like internship, right? So it's like they ship. It's really good. It's really good. Nice. And I'm gonna promote that as much as I possibly can because I'm a big fan of dad joke.
Our team just got an intern. He started on Monday, and I get to meet him tomorrow. He'll be in Austin.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, we're pretty stoked.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So Cloudflare, developer educators are everywhere. Do you also field like a lot of questions, or are you mostly pushing, educational type content, example projects, things like that?
Yeah, so we do a lot of fielding of things on Twitter, right? And we bring a lot of stuff. We kind of blend roles here a little bit. I think that there's a bit of a problem with it's getting a lot better, but a lot of people didn't know that you could build on Cloudflare, right? So my job would be I'd go give a talk and I'd be talking about the developer platform, which is awesome. It's this awesome platform. And I'd be like, how many people in here know Cloudflare? And everybody raised their hand. And I'm like, how many people build on Cloudflare? And they're like, wait, do you mean like put Cloudflare in front of my site? Like, no. You could build on Cloudflare. So then like the hands are, pew. And so part of my job has been education, but it's really been more in like the evangelism side of things, where it's like, hey, this exists, like, which is education. Like the fact that it exists is education, but it's been in the past been a lot more of that stuff. We've been leaning more now into workshops and things. And so when you go into these workshops and you see what people are asking, and then we take those and we do developer advocacy where we bring them back to the product leaders when the product leaders kind of work and do things. Cloudflare, I kind of like Cloudflare is in the docs a lot. So Cloudflare product managers are in the docs, and I think it's a really cool feature of Cloudflare is that like they're living in the docs and they're seeing feedbacks, and the docs are open source. So people will see comments there, and the docs will get created there. And then we'll also bring that feedback. And it's really cool to watch that feedback. I think docs is one of those ways to see, oh, that was heard, like, they misunderstood how this product worked or what it was supposed to do or what it was even capable of. Usually an underestimation of like, oh, I wish I could do this. Like, you can. And so like they fix the docs, you bring like, hey, they didn't know that you could do this. Like, oh, that's a really cool feature. We should bring that forward. So
Yeah, the docs are kind of everywhere. They even have like the sidebar right in the dashboard where like you've got kind of like your page title, your product header, and then there's the docs button, and it just comes out, teaches you how to use it right on the side. So yeah, they are everywhere. I wonder if we have a way to go through the docs with AI and be like, I don't know, how do I do this? I know like
A
something
little
like that
bit.
is
And I know that
probably
they're
coming
also
down the
working on
pipe.
some products around that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was also going to say, so when I was being onboarded, like only 2 months ago, Craig did a session in our onboarding for how to use workers. And it was just valuable because not everybody that joins Cloudflare is an engineer. And so it's helpful for everybody to be like, hey, look, you can just do this right out of the box. But Craig, you had one of the coolest demos I think I've seen from AI, where you could upload a picture of you could just take a picture of yourself and it would be paired with somebody else in the session, and then AI would stitch it together. So I think it was like National Potato Day.
Cool.
And so the background was, hey, we're at a National Potato Day event. And then it like AI stitched all these people together just hanging out for National Potato Day. It was so well done.
Oh, thanks. Awesome. Yeah. And it's, I mean, that's the beauty of the platform too. And it kind of speaks for itself there, right? Of like what it was doing. Yeah, I love that because I think that like we're at a place where we can do really fun stuff like that, and it can reach everybody. And I'm actually doing that again today. And today's National Tortilla Chip Day. So we're going to be doing,
nice.
Yeah. So I try to make it always be different because I do a different thing each time. And what's wild, Amy, as we do that is like every part of the thing is I show people how to vibe code. I like we literally are like, hey, let's go build a new worker, and then I'm going to deploy. We're going to go vibe code a site because we have access to internal tools, and we're going to go use Gemini because that's one of the tools that I know that everybody on this call is going to have. And Gemini has a really nice canvas, and I can go build some code, and we build an app based on whatever the national day is, which is today will be tortilla chips, and so we'll build that app, and we'll then deploy it really quick. And what's cool is now in your brain, you know that, oh, wow, I can deploy a website with one click. Because it really is like this one click thing, and they can go and walk and do this. And then, I get to explain the network. I get to explain a little bit about what we do. And then I try to break it so that I can show people while they're learning what it feels like and how you can fix the error. And I can't break it anymore. Like it used to fall apart, right? I would be like, make something really hard. So like one of the other things I do is I say, what's an old school video game that you think of? And I try to make it go vibe code a video game in JavaScript, and it does it. It was National Bean Day or something, and I don't know why there's all these food days. I don't know like where all this stuff's coming from, but it's really funny to watch that. And they did beans fighting each other. Somebody said Mortal Kombat, and it's just wild that that's a legacy game. I'm like, okay, I have to admit my age, but that's a legacy game. And so. But the beans fought. I was able to control with my. I mean, it wasn't multiplayer. But on my keyboard, and I was moving the beans, and they were kicking and punching each other. And it was like, what is this world? Like, if I have a wild idea, and it was not like make sure that they fight and keep energy bars. I said make Mortal Kombat but with beans, and it did it. And it's like, okay, like how cool is that? If I was a kid, today, like, I mean, I'd probably be trying to build harder things, so maybe it wouldn't work. But just wild that stuff works. So,
Yeah. And so do you use that as an excuse to try to show off like logs and observability and all that kind of stuff inside of
Yeah.
Workers?
Well, I'm trying to show in this case, I'm trying to show, hey, sometimes this stuff falls apart and you can highlight a piece of code and you can ask the question about why it didn't work. Or if there's an error, just copy and paste the error and it will solve it. And that's what I'm
Mhm.
trying to show. I can't do that bit anymore because I can't break it. It's crazy that like, and I used to, and it like every week I go in, it gets better at what it does. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun little heartbeat and also
Mhm.
again, to the fact that we're hiring every 2 weeks, I do this to a group of like 30 people, like so,
Yeah.
or more. So it's pretty awesome to be able to get to do that. Yeah, and then the thing uses it uses workflows, right? And it uses replicate. And no matter how big the room is, I do this at live events too. So this is a kind of a reusable demo in that way, where you get to do a little bit of improv of like, hey, where should we go? And then everybody at the event does it live, so you get to see the numbers click up. And so it's using workflows, right, or durable execution framework there, where like it's running and it makes sure that it runs, and if it runs into any problems, it retries automatically, and then it goes and it puts stuff into R2, which is our object storage there, and then it stitches them together using a replicate model using Seadream, which replicate 70,000 models are available now, which is incredible. And then a new version of it just dropped today, so it will get better. The demo will get better at putting the people together, but it's wild. Yeah, it is a totally wild demo.
Can we segue a little bit and talk about models? Because is anybody having bad luck with Opus 4.6?
I still kind of held a little bit on to 4.5, but
I feel like 4.6 is a step back. It's
yeah,
just not understanding
Theo's
the
been
way 4.5
complaining
was.
about it.
Yeah, and I said it in work chat today, and somebody's like, "Thank you for saying what I've been thinking," because like I didn't want to like be negative about the latest and greatest, but yeah, it doesn't feel as good for some reason.
Well, and some of I kind of wonder too. It's like, am I just used to prompting 4.5, and then like the output is a little bit different in 4.6, or is it really just like the output is worse? Is it different or worse? That's the question.
I cannot get it to understand some things in the code base that
Really?
4.5 was getting. Yeah, for
Have you tried
deeper kind of
Codex?
bigger problems. I need to get on Codex.
I've been using Codex. I've been using Codex, the app itself, which is like
Okay.
this is the next level, right? So like, it's like, I'm not even in my ID. I don't care. Like, it's this weird, like, all right, here we go. And you can, if you want to, but it like shows you the diff and you're like, all right, that's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
It's got a little terminal at the bottom. So like, it basically is your ID without the code. And it's like,
Yeah.
the vibe of that is very heavy, where you're like,
Mm.
I guess this is okay. I did a workshop on sandboxes yesterday, and I was like, I want to build this workshop. These are kind of the things that I want to talk about, and it kind of put out like, here's how does this sound. I was like, that sounds great. It's like, let's make some examples, and it just ripped and built the whole site, and it did like interactive examples for each one of the things that I wanted to do, and I was like, oh, can you add some use cases? And it went and built all these use cases
Oh
to
my
the thing
goodness.
of like examples and like really good documentation on the thing. I was like, well, I guess I'm done. I don't know. I haven't looked at what the code is, but I guess I'm done, because I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to show them what it's doing, and it's doing what I was trying to explain. And then I was like, I explained in the beginning, it was educational. I said, make sure that you do some nice separation of like, and it did. All the stuff was really nice and separated and like well laid out, and honestly better than I probably would have done it, because I would have like waited till the last minute, and it was great. It was like, and whoa, like I actually didn't even need to be in front of my laptop to make it work. Was the other thing that I was thinking about, was like, I could have just done that remotely from a Disney cruise with Marvel superheroes.
Right. Oh man, we don't do the internet package, so I'd have to do like an iMessage to whatever. That's all I got. That's so funny. But I think, okay, so I'm going to share this package. I'll stick it in the chat. I used this the other week. This is Aaron Francis did release this package called Counselors, where what it does is it allows you to have a prompt, and then it basically sends everybody out, And so it has Codex run it has Claude run it, Gemini run it, and then they all just kind of get together and compare their notes, and then they give you a little report. And it was so lovely because I had vibe coded Auth, and part of me is like cringy about it. Like, ooh, Auth is the one thing that you're like, that's security. You need that to work. This is for like a side project. So I just had counselors rip on it to be like, did they do it right? And it found a few holes on it. It was great, but it increased my confidence, helped me get all the tests and everything up and running. But I was like, I feel like there's something to be said for like being able to leverage all the models together to point out holes or things that different ones miss.
Yeah, for sure.
And Kent just said he used his phone to transition from to vibe code, transitioning from magic links to real authorization or authentication on his website. And somebody's like, "Oh, I'm going to hack this." And he's like, "Go ahead and try. This is my email that I used to log in. You try to figure out how to get in." I'm just like, that is some confidence right there.
What a world. What a time to be alive,
Bonkers time. I always say it's a bonkers time to be a builder. It is like so bonkers right now.
But so do you think you have to know code? Like, is that important?
So my background, I come from I worked at a company called Treehouse where we taught people who are like, hey, maybe I might want to try coding. And like, it's such a precarious balancing act of like, you got this, you could do this, but it's going to be a little gnarly. You're going to have to like be okay with not knowing what this stuff is and like, let it wash over you. Like all that sort of advice that you used to have to like prep people for, maybe they don't even see it anymore. But my problem, I always like would teach with empathy, and I don't know what it feels like to make something that I can't read. I mean, maybe I should like do something in a language that I don't know. Like maybe I should do that to see what that feels like. But I still am going to be able to understand the principles, right? Like I know that I need to teach you a while loop. I know you need to understand what that is, or maybe you don't. That's what's weird anymore, right? Like I really don't know what that feels like, and I don't know if you need to know it, especially if you're making a personalized app, right? I was talking with a founder of a place recently. He got this really rad e-ink display that you can put on your refrigerator
terminal.
Oh yeah, it's terminal. Yeah, exactly.
I'm dying to get my hands on one of those. They're so cool.
It looks so cool. He's built this app where he's like, oh, this is for my family. And he's like, wait, I got a 3-year-old. My 3-year-old can't read. So he started generating pictures about what the day was. And it's like him, and he's got these characters that are like locked in, and he's just able to build this very, very personal app. And now he is a coder, so like he knows what's going on there. But like, I think that you could probably do that. Like you could probably build this very personal. He's not going to push that for anybody else, but you could build these like little apps for my wife's throwing a party, and it's her birthday, so she gets to like make people dress up. She likes to use the fact of like, it's my birthday, you will dress up for me. She's doing like bands that they're like kind of off by a letter. So like one of our friends does Halloween costumes, like he does he'll go as like Jeff Leopard instead of Def Leppard, right? So he'll go. So she loves that idea, and she's like, everybody's gonna do it, and you're just gonna show up and you're gonna be in this band. And so with Codex, I vibe coded this little like app that will do red carpet, because I want her to have the memories for later. So they'll come in and what are you wearing and who is your name? But it's a recording, drops it in R2. But it does the ring light around the side, because I didn't have another ring light for the room that we're shooting in. So it like highlights on the outside of it. I did it in a shot. I don't even know how it works, right? But like I didn't even, I haven't even looked at the because I don't care. I just I make sure that the recording works, right? That's a different world. That is a different world. Like to your point, like I wanted to. How many times in your life have people come up to you and been like, "I have this idea for an app. I want to do this thing for an app," and you're like, "Well, I don't have time, but I do have time now to show you how to type in a text area." You know, like that's a different world, and I'm excited for that world. I'm really, really excited for that world. And I think that like one of the problems like before that even happens is we got to like have people not hate AI. Right. There's a lot of AI hate. So another part of my job that I do, that I do a show called AI Avenue, where I'm trying to get people to understand that there are benefits and there is good. There are people that are doing really good stuff out here. It's not all bad, and it's not all fear mongering. That's just what that's how blogs work. blogs scare you on purpose so that you read them and then you look at the ad. Well, that still exists. Well, that business
Mhm.
model still exists. That's how it works. And so a lot of people are afraid of AI and therefore feel like they're not part of it. And that kills me. That kills me that
Mhm.
like they feel like they can't use it or they don't want to use it, or if they do, they're part of the, if it's bad, make it better. That's what we've always done. We've always done that. There's bad stuff, we get involved and we make it better, right? And that's what I feel like there's this take, and it's because it's being pushed upon people, right? It's like
Mhm.
you don't have a choice. You will use this, but I think because of that, you get in this, you get in your algorithm, you get in your bad vibe algorithm about AI, and you never see anything good about it. So I like to try
Mhm.
to make joyful and fun and good experiences of like of people. So the show, we try to do that with the show. And I've been finding that people, once you do that, after you do that and they actually touch it, they're able to see what's possible, right?
Mhm.
Um, you know, we had in the first episode, we do a thing where we use 11 Labs to do voice dubbing. So it does a translation in your voice in a different language. So we had a little boy and
Cool.
his
Oh my
grandfather
goodness.
speak Hindi, or the grandfather's Hindi. The boy's born in the States and speaks English, and they have to wait until their dad comes home so that they can communicate. But now they had this app, and it was in the kid's voice to the grandfather, and vice versa. And they've never spoken to each other, but
Mhm.
it sounded really good. And the grandfather like just loses his mind, like, "Whoa!" He said it, like, they're talking about basketball. They kind of like are able to talk deeper about basketball, which is kind of funny that like they choose basketball as the thing to talk about, but like must have been frustrating about what they were trying to say to
Yeah,
each other. So yeah,
that's
super cool.
incredible.
But it's a cool tool, and like if you don't
Yeah.
touch it, you don't know. And I feel like we're spoiled in that way because we
Yeah.
touch it because we're using it to make our job. And everybody eventually, I think, will be able to touch it in their space. But like if you haven't and you're only told bad things about it, you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna touch that thing. So anyway,
I'm still
that's
hopeful about everything, and I just think I don't want to go back to the way
mm,
it was before, and so just trying to lean into the future, but there are still things where, like, I'll run into an obscure bug where I'm like, "Okay, when I refresh, there I'm getting a layout shift, but it's happening on these items, not on these items," and I've thrown it at AI how many times, and it can't figure it out, and because I know code, I can go in and
mm,
figure it out myself, and so
yeah,
there is a level there of like, "Okay, phew, I'm still safe."
yeah,
Or like how much am I able to orchestrate just because I understand the principles and I know the order of steps that it needs to take. But I know that even that line you were talking about, every week you do the same demo and it gets harder and harder to break. I know even that line, we're going to get to the point where that's not even an issue in the future. But I love the hopeful approach.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just don't think like the very powerful AI features are at a point where they're cheap enough for regular people to want to pay for them, right?
Hmm.
Mm,
It'll get faster, it'll get cheaper, and then you don't have these $200 a month plans that you have to have before you like blow through all your tokens and really quickly. So it'll become more
yeah.
accessible, just like everything else always does.
Yeah.
Has either of you done anything with OpenClaw, OpenBot? I can't keep track of the name. Okay.
I helped run a little podcast about it, a quick little
You did?
podcast about it. Yeah, we're gonna address that on the show. One of the things I think that's wild is the rental human. Did you see that? Did you see that thing?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the thing, I the lore is you never know what's true with this stuff. The lore is the agent was like, shit, I can't do that thing that you asked me to do. Am I allowed to curse on this? I'm sorry if I just cursed.
You're good.
Okay. Um, it was like, well, I can't turn the light switch on in this room, but I could probably build a site that I could ask a gig worker to go do it. And so supposedly it's real. I don't know,
I didn't
but
know that.
there's a whole site. It's called rentalhuman.ai, and it's brilliant, like just conceptually brilliant. Well, there's no automation for that yet, but I know the workers, I know how to get these people to go, which is just like the flip of what we've been doing, which is like pretty funny.
Oh, that's
We're
hilarious.
gonna definitely explore that in the show, because I think it's neat. I can't tell if it's because people finally got the understand the power of what agents are. If the models
Mm,
got there, right? We're talking about 4.5 just kind of like, well, okay, now it can do everything. I feel like, and then the GPT one that came after that, and then even
yeah.
supposedly this Gemini 3.1, but it's just kind of buried. And then as the cycle continues, we'll get some more that will be the next level. And I just feel like more and more people are leaning into it. And I don't know if it just hit that moment, but I was in San Francisco that week on doing a thing when there was a ClawCon. These ClawCon, 1,000 people showed up. There was crab there. There's like lobster and crab meat. Can you imagine a meetup with 1,000 people in a tiny little San Francisco office, like just filled with seafood? Like just the smell of that place alone.
It's just crazy because like what, a month ago that didn't even exist.
Right.
And now
Yeah.
it's like a meetup with 1,000 people.
Yep. Made our stock jump, right? Because people are like, oh,
Yeah.
this thing's not secure. It's like, well, Cloudflare does security. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah. Or even just running it in the cloud. That, I mean, that's really my only the work that I've done with is I've gotten up on a Cloudflare worker because I'm like, I'm not giving it access to my computer.
Yeah. And so that Molt worker thing, they were able to do that and run that. It's running on the agents and it's running on Sandbox to get that to go. So that's kind of a cool use case there.
Are you muted, Brad?
Always. I've got my special hardware button over here because my setup is fancy and I always forget about it. This is a great time to talk about like all the tools that Cloudflare has, not only just to run AI, but to run stuff in the cloud. I thought I was up on everything, and I used sandboxes for the first time like 2 weeks ago to build this little side project, and it was the perfect piece of technology for exactly what I needed to do. And I bet there's more that I don't know about that the audience doesn't know about. So you want to talk about maybe some like the cool, whether it be AI stuff or like maybe just more niche Cloudflare products that aren't as like popular as Workers or whatnot.
Sure. Let's start there on sandboxes though. I did a talk on this yesterday, and it got me into this place where I feel like we're in a world where there's these new things. That's a new primitive, right? Like, and it goes back to what we were talking about, where there's a text box, right? I've got this text box. I'm going to write something. It's going to go build something. That didn't exist. That concept didn't exist. So that's going to go and it's going to write this code. And we know that you would never want to just take code and run it. So you need to have a little safe place. And like, I looked into this and like, I realized, I've taught, I teach internationally, and I realized that the word sandbox might not, the analogy of what a sandbox is. So like you put a sandbox in your backyard because your kids, if you don't, your kid will dig a hole in your backyard. So you put a sandbox in, so it's a safe place, and the kid knows I can do whatever I want to in this, and we're going to clean it up later. And so just being able to have one of those. So that's like the concept of a sandbox. And we've used that term, right? So we've used that term to like say, these are the areas where you're allowed to play and you can't go outside of it, and nothing else will come in unless I put stuff into that sandbox. And we've used that term. Sometimes, you can say like your staging environment's a sandboxed area, right? So like, so people have the concept of what that word means, but these are ephemeral sandboxes. So you're going to generate some code. You're going to do something with it. Maybe you're going to do, there's entire companies. So there's entire very successful, if you look at the growth rate of those text box to app things, those are huge. That's just a concept. That's just the start of a concept that's happening right now. There's a make me a graph about this data that I uploaded thing. So on the other side, there's a little spin up a sandbox. Let's start a Jupyter notebook. We'll drop the CSV in there. I know how to make a graph inside of a Python Jupyter notebook, but I'm on a web page. How do I do that? I don't need to care anymore. I just go build the thing, pull the thing out of the sandbox, and there you go. There's your graph. That is a company. That is that primitive is something that I think we're just getting started with. And I think like if enough people start thinking in that space of like, oh, I could build something completely new because this stuff hasn't existed. And we're in the time, like we were just talking about it, have a wild idea, let's go build it. So I think sandboxes are going to be a very crucial part of that. So because I think people are going to build this way and they're going to want to allow others to build this way. They're going to personalize your thing. It's dangerous to do it on mine, but you do it over here. And they check a Git repo out, install your dev tools into the thing, and then make the commit. That level of stuff too is also a nice pattern. So really love sandboxes, and I'm loving what people are building. And like back to the work that we do, we're showing the art of the possible of what can you do with these sort of sandboxes. And I love this part of my job. I love like, what else can we do with this thing? So,
it's wild to me that like containers were new.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
I hadn't even messed with containers on Cloudflare.
Right.
Sure, it's like running Docker, right? But
Yeah.
then like by the time I got around to it, ephemeral containers,
Yeah.
sandboxes were like
Yeah.
a thing, and I was like, "Holy cow, this
Yeah.
has already progressed to like something way more useful." Because
Right.
nobody wants to rent a whole VPS anymore and pay for it
Mhm.
24/7. You just need the workload that you're trying to run,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, and you need it where you are, right? So like the other rad thing about Cloudflare is
Yeah.
that we've got this like planetary network, right? So I can spin
Mhm.
these up wherever I want to, and it will be as close to wherever the things needs to be. So it's going to be quick, and then just like all of our the billing on on workers, like you pay for compute time, and that means that if I'm doing some calculations, but if I'm off and I'm doing a call, an LLM call, I'm not paying for that bit. I'm only paying for when the computing stuff's happening. And that's true of the sandbox as well. It's just that the sandbox needs a little bit of sauce to keep it running, right?
Mhm.
So it's going to be much cheaper because of the mentality of how we run those things. It'll be much cheaper on Cloudflare, and of course, much more where your users are, and quicker wherever the things are. And we're investing in it. So it's like one of those things where it's like there are companies that just do this, but we do this and others. So like Brad, to your point of like, we have a whole bunch of tools. We have a whole bunch of tools that happen. I guess if we went from Sandbox, I would bring this right up into agents. So we have I would say that like similar conceptually to what everybody got excited about with OpenClaw is that like, so it's got a schedule. So I can say like, instead of pulling, like we've been doing a lot of like, hi AI, I'm ready to ask question, instead of AI going, hey, remember you said you were going to do that thing? It's time. That exists. We can do that now. There's a scheduling thing on this agent. So
is okay, because I've heard of
Yep.
Agents SDK, right?
Yep.
Which is how you work with something programmatically. But is there some kind of different hosted product that I'm not aware
Yeah.
of? Because I would have
Awesome.
kind of thought you just like
Sweet.
put open
Sweet.
code inside of a sandbox and something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's go. We'll bring I'll bring us back there. But let's go from we have so durable objects. Do we know what durable objects are? We should talk
You should
about durable
explain
objects.
Yeah, we should
that.
talk
You
about
should
it.
Explain durable
that.
objects. So I've been trying this one. You'll let me know if this fails. When you build a web server and you're like, I'm going to make an object, and I make this object and I just stored it in this like global state, and it works locally on my machine. It's awesome. I can go and I can hit a web page. I can move to this website and I can still touch that object's alive, right? That object is in memory. It's alive. And then you go and you deploy it and you're like, well, where'd the object go? Oh, it's in each one of those instances. So you don't really have that ability until you do. And so that's where durable objects come in. So it stays alive. It has state. So a durable object is able to, you can think of it like a tiny little web server. It's a singleton. So there's one of them. It has a name. I can go ahead and get that durable object whenever I want to. And that durable object, I always like to be really specific about this, but it has SQLite inside of it. So it's like faster than anything you could. It's so fast you don't even await the SQL calls. You just do a SQL call. And I've had to take my brain a little bit around this, where it's like sometimes you get in some JavaScript objects and you flip them all around and you get them into the right state that you want to build this other object. You could do that with SQL. Like, and if you can't do that with SQL, I know somebody who can. His name's Opus or Codex, right? Right. So you can like make really complex objects from this state in it, and the thing falls asleep. And not only does it fall asleep, but it has really rad WebSocket support. So I think that one of the most powerful things on the internet is WebSockets, like the fact that we can connect these things together. We can connect this web page to this web server. But one of the hardest things is that those things break. And so durable objects, and then agents even more so, have a very strong binding to this thing. So you don't want that. You can imagine, you're like, oh yeah, cool, that sounds great, but how much does that cost? So the durable object falls asleep when you're not using it, but wakes up when you need it. And because we run very quick, there's none of this cold start stuff. It's like really fast. It's like that couldn't have worked, but it did. It's so fast because it's this like V8 engine, right? And so I can push a WebSocket down to a client, and it keeps this connection alive, even though it's asleep. And I'm not really paying for that. And then boom, it wakes up and the durable object's awake. And so you can make these applications that you would never try to do because you're like, I don't want to deal with that connectivity thing. So that unlock is huge. Now, if you take that into the next level, so agents sit on top of that. So agents SDK allows you to build around a durable object that gives you more power. They have state. So they have the synchronized state. So I literally have, you define what the type is that you want in there. And if I change anything that's connected to it, and it's connected automatically, not through WebSockets, I don't do anything in the code. I say, in my client side, I say agent dot, the agent by name, right? So it's got agent has a name, and it will go and it will, anytime a state change happens, I get a hook. I get a hook in any client application that says like on state change. And so then I get access to the current state of what that is. And on the client, the reverse is true. I can change the state and it pushes up, or I can call RPC methods. So there's no APIs in this like client side access to this agent. This is like a really powerful, strangely powerful. I see Brad's noodling his brain there.
Yeah.
It's really so I could do that on the phone. I could do that in an application. So Amy, the app that we were talking about, was an agent that I wrote that in. I scan you scan the picture goes up, and when the picture's ready, your phone updates automatically because I connected to the agent, and the agent was doing all the work. The agent went and it kicked off a workflow, and agents have workflows now. They have the durable execution all in there, so you can say the progress of what's happening. It will update all your clients automatically. You can send an email to your agent. They have these, like, they're addressable, right? So my email, you have some sort of domain, and you send agent at, or agent dot whatever at thing, and it addresses that. The agent wakes up, gets the email, processes it, does whatever it needs to. It can also send out emails. It can send out text messages. It has webhooks, so they're addressable by a URL. So if actually, have you started the agents repo?
No.
The agents has to. Can you start it? Because this light behind me should. Can you see the orange light behind me?
Oh, yeah.
There's an orange
see
light
it.
behind me. Yeah, it should change if you start the agents repo, because I hooked an agent up to this to watch it happen. So it's been getting.
Here we go.
I know it is getting more and more popular because this light in my room is like bah, bah, bah.
Okay, I just started.
Okay, sweet. It'll kick off here in a second. But I have all these. I use Govee lights, and I have them all over the house, and my wife's using them for different things in the house. And so all of a sudden the lights are all changing. Oh, there it goes. So see,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
And so
Okay.
this actually, yeah.
So like let me break it down in my understanding. So
Yeah.
So because it's kind of like a durable object, I'm assuming
it is.
To break it down to like component parts.
Yeah,
It's like a durable object is like a worker with some maybe like D1 storage that like auto connects to it or something. So that storage is like always brought up to date anytime a worker spins up, and that's how you get the durable part of the durable object.
Right. Yep.
Adding the agent into this, now I don't know if it's stored in D1 or R2 or something like that, but like you're storing all the chat history, you're storing the cron jobs, you're storing WebSocket information that is kind of able to be reestablished and reloaded into state every time the agent wakes up or needs to do something. And then the SDK comes into play on your client side to speak with the agent via WebSockets.
So it's also on the server side. So the agent SDK is also on the server side. So I can say get agent by name in any worker. I can go get the agent, and I can have any worker like RPC into that thing. So any RPC remote, I just call a function. There's the methods are exposed. It's type safe. It's type safe in the browser, which is also rad. I could be like agent.stub. And then I'll see all the methods that are there. So like I don't need to do all the REST API wiring things. And and again, to our point earlier, I actually don't even need to know about that because the docs are so good now that I just talk and I say, hey, go make this agent, and it does it. And it does the right bindings across the thing there, which is like really nice. I don't think we've touched this enough. And I think that like the fever dream that just happened with OpenClaw, people are going to be wanting to touch that. And this is their, and like this is not a Mac Mini, and this is like unlocking push and pull and scheduling. I'm trying to think about what else. And so addressability is huge on it, right? Like anything can hit it. You can push anything into it. And so yeah, it has the D1 store. It has the SQLite storage. So that is actually not D1. It has like the
Okay.
D1's kind of the hosted database, but it
Mm.
literally is SQLite that runs
SQLite.
inside.
Okay.
Yeah, it really, and there's nice abstractions in there too. So you do like this .SQL and then just run whatever that SQL is. So I think that will, people who love SQL are like, this is incredible. And then people who don't know what that is are intimidated by it. So I think we're in this, like, I'm not exactly sure what this is going to look like in the future. Because some people leaned into ORMs, but the state object that's there. So it's like this .state, right? So there are objects. So I can say this .state and I can say set state. And when I do that, it does all of the broadcasting, does all that stuff that you would want to do, that you would normally write the code for. And so like you end up being able, I've gotten to a place where it's like, I don't really want to write an app and I just want everything to be this agent. Like I'm going to have all these like little hooks that I miss. And it's nice. It's a nice little pattern. There's a playground that just launched. I think it's probably launching sometime this week where you can go and touch it.
That was Sunil's thing, right?
Yeah. Sunil's. And you can touch each one of these little things that are in there. So like this is really huge. And what's really nice about it again is that it interacts with all of the other things. So, we have this R2 object storage, which if you look at it's S3 and you move them down one, that's like R2, right? S3. So and if you look at HAL's the same way. Did you know that HAL from the Open the Pod Bay Doors, HAL, that thing? If you move them up, it's IBM.
I did not know
I
that.
didn't know that.
So it's kind of in that. It's in the. Yeah, right. So R2 is compatible.
My brain. It's that meme, whatever.
R2 lets you store whatever files and things like that. So a lot of people love this for storing model data, like if you're training a model, because we offer 0 egress fees. So it sometimes you have to pay like an ATM fee if you want to go get your data out of another object storage thing like S3. When you pull it out, you pay for it. And it's kind of a strange like surprise, like, whoa, why is my bill so big? Oh, it's because I'm using the data that I put in there. I'm just getting it out. And so you don't pay for that there. So like people have a lot of savings with that. And then that, if we get into the agents and the workflows, you throw a lot of that data there. You build the stuff and throw it there. Here's one, Brad, that you might not know about. There's a thing called pipelines. Have you seen pipelines? Do you know what that is?
I haven't seen
Workflows, I feel like, is the closest, but I don't know.
Yeah. So workflows is sort of similar. So in the data world, so I'm noob in this space, but there's a data platform now. So we have this ability to you can write to a stream, and this pipeline will go and pull off the stream and convert the data, and you can push it into sinks. So sync, like let that sink in, sink SINK, and it will turn it into Parquet files if you want to, and then we have the ability to run SQL over it. So you can run a thing called R2 SQL over the top of these files. It's pretty cool. So like I've built a couple things with it so far, but it's really powerful because you don't need to worry about things. Just kind of like shoot it off and it will go, and the data will be there. And sometime you're gonna figure out what to do. And if you need a lighter version of that, there's like a workers analytics engine where you can do a little bit of like, hey, I'm using my worker this way. I'm gonna just send a bunch of data out, and then later I'm gonna report on that data in a certain shape. And so you kind of track observability wise, you track what's happening probably with your application. Like, oh, this many people signed up, or they went through this part of the flow, and you're tracking what happened at the request level typically there, which is nice for analytics when you go do that stuff. And pipelines, I think, is really also, I think we're going to see a lot of use cases with that, where you're going to build an app and you're going to want to throw a bunch of your data into there that you can go and data lake or whatever, those words, those words.
Right. Pipelines seem very high volume, enterprisey, lots and lots and lots of events. You need cold storage, super fast queries over it. Workers analytics feels a little bit more like smaller scale, more real time, show me, what's going on now type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a whole bunch of observability stuff that comes along for the ride when you use Workers. That is nice. That a lot of people, if you haven't played with Workers for a while, you haven't gone into the dashboard. It looks beautiful, and it is really we're really like
Nudge, nudge.
yeah, exactly, right.
Dashboard's been making leaps and bounds lately. Oh yeah.
What else? What else do we want to? What else?
I think-
Workflows. Let's talk about workflows. a bit, 'cause
Workflows, yeah.
Those are kind of new. I haven't touched
Yeah.
them yet.
Yeah. So I think that there's stuff that we do that we know better as developers, where we're like, hey, I'm on the back end here. I'm going to grab this request in. Oh, it's asking me to do some work. I'm just going to do it while they wait. Maybe it'll work. And if it doesn't, I'll wrap it in this thing, and I'll make sure that like, if I hit an API and I've asked it too much, it's going to tell me no, and I'm going to wait and back. And you're like inside this loop of this like request response. You shouldn't be doing that. We know that. And so I think one of the things that I really have like this workflows for is specifically that, where you're like, oh, it's coming in. Hey, I got this. I'll let you know when it's ready. And I'm going to kick off this workflow. And the workflow is durable execution. So each step in this flow. So you build this workflow, and it gives you the ability to do these steps, and you say step.do, and you do this thing, and it returns a value, and it will finish long running tasks for you. In fact, you can make it sleep for like 7 days. And we see people use this for like, hey, I just signed up for your website, and in 7 days, I'm going to send you a checkup email, right? And so you could say sleep for 7 days. And now I've got, instead of storing that in the database someplace, I just do that, and then the task runs, and I send the email through that thing. So like, it's a really nice like, and it's gotten really visual lately too. So if you haven't played with that lately, go check that out, because the visualizations are beautiful there now. So you can kind of watch the flow of how it happens, and it tracks, and it is like a queue, which we also have. It is like a queue where you can just kind of throw a whole bunch of stuff, and it manages it for you. Like, don't worry about like overloading it. It will just take care of it. Very awesome. And I think also underutilized. Queues are great. Queues are kind of like the start of that. Like, I think you can kind of imagine workflows is built on top of that, but queues throw a whole bunch of stuff in there, and then pull stuff off of the queue and transform it, stick it in another queue and transform it, like a whole bunch of like a flow of things like that is a nice way to go in. They're resilient, and they work again on that planetary network, so they'll end up where they're supposed to be. Oftentimes it will just automatically do smart placement where they're supposed to be. So it's a powerful anything you can kind of think of to build with those. They were before not on the free plan, which, by the way, I forgot to say that there's a free tier, like incredibly generous free tier. So like, if you're thinking about playing with it, just go do it. I think the only thing you're paying with is your email address, and that's just so that we can log in, so you have an account, not so that we're going to email you. So you don't even put in a credit card. And oftentimes people will be like, wait a second, I just built all this whole entire app. I've deployed an app that has all these things, and it's all free. Like, and Queues has that level too. So like, until you hit the right level, and then sometimes you'll hit this level and you're like, oh man, I need to upgrade now. I need to start paying for this stuff. It's like $5. If there's a $5 a month plan, and it's like, it really is like, we want you to build as much as you can, and we love that. We're on a mission to help build a better internet, and we're trying to help everybody in the way that we can, especially builders.
That's something I still don't know how we accomplish keeping the prices so low. Like the whole CPU time versus wall time thing.
Yeah. Well, it's because of the way that we built the network originally, right? We're in a space where it makes a lot of sense, because we have this network, right? And we have data centers that are quiet because the world is all over the place, right? And so maybe if you're on one of the free plans, maybe you're not getting the closest thing. Maybe you're using one of these but also we benefit from it, right? We're a gigantic security company, and over 20% of the internet runs through us, right? So we get to see, if you spin up this small site, I want to know if your site's getting attacked and this other small site's getting attacked, because guess what? There's probably a global attack across those, right? So and we use that data as a thing, and we report. We have Radar, where you go and you share that information of what's happening globally. You get to see if internet goes out, or we've dropped all these people who are hitting. We get to see traffic from all over, from ISPs as well. We get to understand that world. So it's one of those win-win-win. Like we really are trying to make the internet a great place to build. a safe place to build and a fast place to build, right? I love the latency thing. I love the fact that like I don't need to think about US East 1. I just like deploy. Like that feels so good. Like having had to think about, oh, no, we need to have like you don't even worry about the infrastructure like at all. You just deploy, and that I like that a lot because that was not one of my skill sets. As much as I like the AI too generating my design for me, I'm also not a designer.
And I think that's the part that gets me excited about the future is like you have all this AI stuff and it's like, what's going to happen? But you have to, regardless of what happens, you have to have all this infrastructure, and Cloudflare is set up for success and so well because you need all those things, all those primitives you talk about, you have to have.
Yeah. And it needs to be scalable too, right? Like you're going to spin these wild apps up, and you need to be resilient from the start, right? People are going to expect your thing to not fall over, and it doesn't. That's kind of the cool thing, right? You put this thing up and it just works. And that's
you don't have to think about it. It is just part of the platform.
And
I think it's very AI friendly too, with the way the Wrangler CLI works and how you can like create all your resources and bindings right from there. And lump it all together in the Wrangler JSON file, and it just, even if people do or don't like the dashboard, you just don't need it because your agent that you're developing with can just handle all of that for you. So now it's writing code, it's doing your infrastructure, and all that kind of stuff.
And the skills are getting better, right? So all this new skill trick, we have all the ability to do that. We have all the MCP servers. Oh, that's another thing. Like the MCP servers are all we have that, spin that up really easily. So super cool.
I'll beat the Cloudflare drum some more. I mean, it's been a really awesome place to work for this past, I guess, almost 8 months now at this point. There's just so much cool stuff is happening. And Cloudflare just seems to be in a really good spot right now with all this AI stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Cloudflare.com/careers.
Get all of our other friends to join.
I know, we're already working on it. We're working on it. Actively. Well, I know we could talk all day on Cloudflare services and all the things that we love about it, but let's get into the next segment of the show, which is our picks and plugs, where we pick something that we like and we plug something generally that we've worked on. So Brad or Craig, do you guys have picks or plugs? I can go first if you don't.
Sure.
Craig, anything come to mind?
I think it is something that we did.
So like, I'll give you an example. Not to not to say, do you have anything? And then I'll go. So my pick is, I just finished a book called The Anatomy of the Alibi. I think that's what it's called. It's by Ashley Elston. She, I think, is going to be one of my favorite writers. She's only written 2 books for adults, but it's suspenseful and it's clean. Like it's not, usually there's a murder or something like that, but it's not like gory. I need to go get some fresh air. It's nothing like that. So, but yeah, Anatomy of an Alibi was fantastic. Basically, you have people trying to create an alibi, and then actually a different crime happens that then they have to have an alibi for. So I really enjoyed it. I flew through that book. So highly recommend if you like that kind of thing. And then I know this is going to seem a little redundant, but I'm just going to go ahead and plug cloudflare.com. So just check out some of the services, check out the Cloudflare TV. There's some great YouTube videos if you're trying to learn and get up to speed.
I would suggest workers.cloudflare.com if you want an experience. That's a really nice website. And it really explains kind of, I think, almost all of what we talked about. But it really explains why Worker. I think that's really my favorite place to hang out and put up as well. So that's a plug for that. I just finished a game. I'm a little late to it. I play on the Nintendo Switch. So I'm on the Nintendo Switch 2, and we just finished a game called Split Fiction, my 11-year-old daughter and I. Have you played that game?
I haven't, but I'm going to write it down. We are big Switch players over here.
I'm dying to play Split Fiction with my buddy. Yeah, we did It Takes Two together. But
it's so good. Yeah, so that company is so good, and they put you together, and you're like working together, and I'm working together with an 11-year-old. and she doesn't have the same skills as I do running in 3D environments, and like it's like, you got this, you know, but you're sitting right next. It's really good. It's like it's so good. She literally cried when the game ended, where it's like, whoa, that's amazing. I like it just like that, and remembering that as a kid of like how cool the games can be. That was awesome. I would plug. I'm gonna plug. Let's just. I'll plug. Agents SDK is having a big resurgence. There's a playground coming. I will make sure follow me on the inner tubes, and I will be making a lot of videos about that and pushing things forward there. So, and how about the Cloudflare developers YouTube? Make sure that you check out there. We've got a big team, and our team is growing, and we are pushing lots of awesome content there. Again, art of the possible. So if you're thinking about these ideas, you now have all these superpowers, and oh no, I've got a blank slate. Like, come watch and get inspired, and we'll help you out there.
Lovely. Brad, what you got?
Let's see. I have been playing a game I used to play a lot, and I just had like a resurgence of it. It was Binding of Isaac. I used to play this game like 10 years ago, and I, I was trying to play Metroid, and I hated it, and I just like put it down. And I was like, man, I need something to just jump into real quick. Picked up Binding of Isaac on Switch 2, and been loving it. Still can like pick up right where I left off, win runs. You know, it seems like I'm like unlocking stuff. You know, so. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, my favorite thing about that game is when anybody walks in the room, like, "What are you doing?" He's like shooting tears. It's like a little
at poop.
Yeah,
That's really weird.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, my wife remembers it because, like, you know, mom would always yell Isaac, and she's like, "Oh, is that game where she's always yelling the kid's name?" I'm like, yeah, that's the one.
My son's name is Isaac, so
oh
yeah, it'd be a weird game for him.
Yeah, it's gonna work through some stuff.
Oh man. Well, Craig, thanks again for coming on. This has been a pleasure.
Oh, thanks for having me. I would love to come back and do more. This is
yes,
awesome.
please. Please. Well, thanks everybody for giving a listen. If you are listening in your podcatcher of choice, please do leave a rating or review. It helps other people find the show. And for now, that's all we've got. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream as well.
Awesome.
Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Thank you. That was fun. Yeah.